boxing's becoming rather an expensive sport to follow. For what is a tier 2, maybe even a tier 3 sport, it's becoming extremely expensive to follow. I mean, you think of tier 1 sports, you think of NBA, NFL, football, in America, baseball, I guess depending upon what country you're in, rugby, right? Those would be your tier 1 sports, golf, Formula 1. And your tier 2 sports probably be like athletics, rugby union would probably fall into that. So those are kind of your tier 2 sports. And then boxing would kind of be either tier 2 or maybe even tier 3 right now. Let's be honest. It's not in any country the biggest sport in that particular country. Maybe Mexico, but I doubt it. I think football will still be number 1 in Mexico. So for what is a tier 2/tier 3 sport, it's extremely expensive to follow. I mean, you think of all the other sports I just mentioned, tier 1 and tier 2. I mean, there are no pay-per-view events. I mean, Liverpool play Man United. That's a tier 1 game, people. That's not pay-per-view. Real Madrid, Barcelona, not pay-per-view. Golden State Warriors versus, I don't know, LA Lakers now with LeBron James there. Not pay-per-view. Why is it that boxing events, the big ones or the so-called big ones, are pay-per-view events? Doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. Why are they? I mean, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren would probably sit you down and give you the economics around it, and they'll probably say stuff like, for us to be able to make these fights, we have to put them on pay-per-view. And look, there must be a reason behind it. They wouldn't just chuck them on pay-per-view. I mean, I don't think they're that greedy. But nonetheless, it's becoming an expensive sport to watch. I mean, Channel 5, I think, is the only sort of free-to-air one now, alongside Dave, I believe. And they're the only free-to-air ones. And let's be honest, you're not getting the greatest content on them. You're just not going to get it. I mean, you might get Huey Fury. I doubt you'll still get him, but you might get Huey Fury on there. On Dave, I don't know what you're going to get on there. David Hayes, promotional signings maybe, minus Joe Joyce, who looks like he's kind of found his way to America, and Al Heyman. So it's been an expensive year, to say the least, to follow. And by my counting, and I could be wrong here, I think by the time the year ends in 2018, I think we'd have probably paid, if you are a big boxing fan, for about 15 pay-per-views. Now, the counter-argument, and I've got to give a counter-argument, is that you don't have to pay for them. Don't watch them. Don't pay for them. That could be the counter-argument. I think Eddie Hearn mentioned that before. Like, why are you so angry about pay-per-view buys? I mean, sorry, about boxing being on pay-per-view. No one's putting a gun to your head to watch it. Well, if you're a fan of something, you are going to want to watch it. And you are going to pay to watch it. I'm a fan of Liverpool. A massive fan of Liverpool. If Liverpool decide to put their games on pay-per-view, I'd be livid, but believe you me, I'm going to pay because I want to watch Liverpool. So if you're a big boxing fan, like I am, you're going to have to watch and want to watch all these fights. Now, some people will then say, okay, but you can watch them by streams, illegal streams. And granted, you can. I've done it myself. But there are some fights where I just don't want to watch an illegal stream. I don't want to watch it halfway through and it freezes. I don't want to watch it halfway through and it cuts out. I don't want to watch it halfway through and I realize I'm about 5 minutes behind because the stream hasn't caught up yet. So there are some fights where I just have to buy the pay-per-view because as a boxing fan, as someone that does these videos, as someone that's lucky to be in a profession where I actually talk about boxing, I have to kind of watch these fights. But it's getting a bit stupid now. It really is getting a bit stupid. By my reckoning, and I could be missing some out here, let's go for it. I think in terms of the pay-per-views we've had so far this year, we've had Bellew Hay, and this is just on the British side, by the way. So we've had Bellew Hay, you've had Eubank Groves, we've had Parker Joshua, Parker White, Smith Holtzgen, remember that one? Bloody hell. How did that... Anyway, forget it. And if you are a massive cruiserweight fan like I was, obviously you would have probably had or paid for Gassiev Usyk, which I think was on pay-per-view. Could be wrong, but I think it was. Upcoming ones that are a rubber stamp to happen. Groves versus Smith. That fight out in, is it Dubai or Saudi Arabia, whatever. Povetkin Joshua is coming up in a month's time. Frampton Warrington looks like it's going to be done. Wilder Fury looks like it's going to be done. And BT Sports have also said they're going to put on GGG versus Canelo for us. Thank you very much, BT Sports. And you have to pay a tenner to watch that. Those are the ones that are kind of rubber stamp. Ones that might happen, and I don't think they're 100%, but looks like they might happen. Bellew Usyk looks like it's going to happen. Doesn't it? There is talk, and again, this is just talk about Khan versus Brook. That's definitely on pay-per-view. So what's that? How many have I just mentioned it? That's just 2,000 2018. That's unbelievable. Now, this must have happened before. It might have happened before. I can't remember ever thinking that UK fight fans are going to have to pay for, I don't know, 13, 14 pay-per-view events. Ever. And it's just gone a bit crazy. You have to admit, guys, it's gone a bit crazy. I mean, we're all excited about the World Boxing Super Series. I was. That's pay-per-view, people. So, you know, everyone's excited about all the new names at the 140 division and I think the smaller weights, and they're talking about adding another weight. They will be on pay-per-view. They have to be on pay-per-view because the prize money is so much. Fact. It's just the way it is now. Any half-decent fight, and I'm talking half-decent, by the way, not, oh my God, half-decent fight, Sky Sports or BT Sports now will chuck on pay-per-view. And this isn't going to stop. In fact, it will just get bigger and bigger, I believe. Right now, we have ITV, obviously. We have BT Sports. And we have Sky. There could be more joining this. There could be more joining this. There could be a DAZN type streaming service coming to your door 2020, 2021. There could be. Why would you think there wouldn't be? But it's not just the pay-per-views. Remember, it's okay. We pay for pay-per-views, but we also pay for BT Sports. That's not free. We pay for Sky Sports. That's not free. If you don't have Sky Sports, try and get all the Sky Sports package. You're going over 100 quid a month. I'm not sure what the BT Sports package is because I don't have BT Sports, but I'm sure that's decent as well. And Box Nation, which looks like it's going to be kind of fizzled out, but you're still paying for that, people. It's incredible. It really is incredible, and it's not stopping anytime soon. It really isn't. So with the World Boxing Super Series, with Sky Sports, and now with BT Sports, expect at least 12 pay-per-view events per year to watch what I think is a tier 2, maybe tier 3 sport. That's what boxing is, and I can admit that. It's not up there with NBA, it's not up there with NFL, it's not up there with football, with golf, which I'm not even a big fan of, with Formula 1. It's just not. It's not up there with those sports. It's not up there with rugby if you're in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or even maybe France. It's just not up there with them. It really isn't. But yet, we're having to pay more to watch it than you would do for paying to watch tier 1 sports. Interesting.